Hello, and welcome to the Kosh. I'm your host, Timber Smith, and let me just say I am super excited to be back. We had to take a break for a little while, but we are not letting this the podcast just disappear. We get so much good feedback from people, and we have loyal listeners. Just had to take a break. Started a new career. Just had to take some time to kind of focus on that transition. I don't know about you out there in the Kosh land, but if you've ever changed a job after you've been on a job for a really long time, that's a transition. It takes a minute. So you got to kind of get your feet under you and get right. And I had to get my feet under me and get right. And let me tell you something else. Trying to catch up with people in the summer is tough because people are out there enjoying that thing called warm weather, and I ain't mad at them. So, but we are back. This is our 21st episode. I am super excited about who our guest is this week. So let me just go ahead and introduce him. His name is Aaron Jackson. He is a veteran and owner of DADDY D.I.Y, LLC. Aaron, how you doing today?
Good, Tim, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing really, really good. Can you share a little something about yourself for the Kosh listeners? And what is your connection to the Kosh?
Yeah. Well, I've been in Oshkosh for, about 8 years now. I went to school here where I got some degrees.
Some degrees, nothing. You want to share about that?
Yeah, I have 6. So I have 3 minors, which is Spanish, African American Studies, and what else is a minor? I got to figure them out. Well, I know my majors anyway. My majors are criminal justice, sociology, psychology, and then I have a minor in African American Studies, Spanish, and I keep forgetting the last one. Oh, no, that's it. It's all right. And then I got a master's in public administration.
Bruh.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot going on. That's a whole lot of school. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I was linked to the area through college. I ended up buying a house here, staying around. Did some jobs that I just got tired of doing the job. So I've been doing construction on my own on the side for 16 plus years. So I decided just to start my own business this year, which a lot of people kind of frowned against because of COVID. But we've been doing all right. Kind of with the area. So yeah, I'm still around here, still out of Oshkosh. We travel a lot. So I've been everywhere from Milwaukee, Michigan to Atlanta, Georgia. That's the furthest one so far. So we build a lot of stuff for a lot of people. So.
Okay, cool. You ready to jump into the first segment?
Sure.
All right, the first segment is called, and for our past Kosh listeners, we decided to change some of the segments up. We're doing a refresh, starting the 21st episode. This segment is called What's on Your Soul? It's just an opportunity to talk about something that's going on right now that's been on your mind. So what you got going on?
Let's think. I think I don't know, dating. I think just dating's been on my mind.
Dating? Okay, break that down.
I think I just so I feel that the era of dating has definitely changed, and people's acceptance of that has changed. So that's just something that me and my buddies were just talking about the other night. Compared to the era I was born in, where walking up to somebody with a notepad and a pen, and hoping that you could write a number down would have definitely been the highlight of your afternoon. To the point where we move now, where there's so much variety that if somebody has an eyelash on a shade, you can just swipe right. So it's it gets to the point where I feel like people have shorter attention spans when it comes to dating, and they definitely have shorter patience and ideal of working through issues, but they're still wanting a similar ideal of a long-term relationship.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm out of practice with that thing, and I'm assuming
you're lucky.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Very, very lucky that that is not out there. Shout out to the wifey. No, that I think dating in today's age would just be mind-boggling when you throw connecting through technology into it. Like that would just be the ultimate game changer.
Yeah, I mean, at times I really feel like I'm Egyptian to the point where they send so many emojis. It's just like hieroglyphics. I didn't realize we were still talking with pictures anymore. Bruh. It just gets to the point where, and I'm 31, so it's not like I'm aged, but it's like that is just not something I was ever experienced with. And to the point where I just get the point that I have to start like studying dating to try to make sense of it, just because I'm a nerd like that. So in the ideal of categories and stuff that you try to like develop, not necessarily put people in, but try to understand like where they're most likely to fit. And a lot of it, I think it's based on previous damage from relationships, where a lot of people sit. I think to the point where you've either had too much damage from previous relationship that you hinder yourself from actually falling further, so every little thing scares you off. I get that situation. I think you get to the point too where you have less experience, so you're quick to fall into this idea of love, that wherever that belongs. So then you got these kind of like hopefuls, and then you get the ones kind of in the middle that are just been damaged just enough to be kind of bitter towards you. So it always turns into this weird kind of concept. And then you get the rarities, the unicorns, where the women are out there actually worse than men, with the idea of hooking up or whatever it is, and being forward with that. So I think it's a very weird dynamic, like especially when you're trying to look for like an intellectual conversation, because I think as most men age, it stops turning from beauty to the intellectual stimulation, so the idea of being intellectually attractive. And especially for me, I think that's where I'm moving towards. Like, if we can't hold a conversation that does not make me want to continue that date. If I look at you or I say something and I get the deer in headlight kind of look, and I was just like, you know what, that's not a next date kind of situation. But I think it's just so complicated now, especially with COVID. I mean, we've been forced to be in our house. So essentially you think we would have been better at communicating, but actually it's been worse. So people have used that as an excuse. So I guess it saves guys money. They don't really have to take anybody on dates anymore. But you can just do Facebook dates or whatever you're doing, like over the video.
Facebook dates.
Bruh.
I don't even know what that is. Let me clarify this. All right, let me ask this. So it's safe to assume right at this particular moment, you're single?
Yep, I sure am.
All right, ready to mingle?
Indeed.
All right. So, Kosh listeners out there, for you other ladies who are single and ready to mingle, I think Mr. Jackson has just put it out there.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. All right. All right. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, Ice Ice Baby all the way.
What?
I know every single word.
Bruh.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm not gonna lie. That is a jam. It makes you feel some kind of way when you do hear it. It makes you, I believe, it makes you crave for old school parachute pants, and you want to do the MC Hammer across the floor.
I think it makes you stop, collaborate, and listen. I think it just does a lot of that.
What's your favorite sandwich?
The classic. I think the PB&J. I love it. Especially those Uncrustables. You ever freeze those and eat those things?
No.
Yeah. So it's a circle peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Essentially, you get them in their little wrappers, but you can put them in the freezer and then you eat them right out of the freezer.
Just as is, so frozen.
It freezes the peanut butter, but not the jelly. So I don't know. It tastes really good. I think if you haven't tried it, try it. I think that's where you need to go with that. Uncrustables.
Uncrustables. All right. What is your dream vacation destination?
Greece. I always wanted to go to Greece. I always had a fascination with early civilization and anything Greek. I think I've been a dork on that since I would say 7. So anything had to do with Greek gods, literally every single one of my animals is named after a Greek god. Since I was probably 7. So We went through quite a bit. They don't last as long as they like to say they are.
What, the animals?
Yeah, I guess the Greek gods at that point.
Oh, the Greek gods at that point. Fair enough. Are you a dog or a cat person?
I'm more of a dog person. I think I grew up with cats, and I think anybody that grows up with cats automatically switches to dogs. Cats are cool. They're smart. They're definitely smarter than dogs. But I think there's something to be said about kind of watching for example, I have an English bulldog named Hercules. He is dumb, and I love it. Like he's cute dumb. He runs into the wall dumb, and he just looks like he has no idea what's going on, but he's happy as hell. So I think, bruh, I think seeing that is it just brings joy to my life. I don't think a cat rubbing on me and purring would do that, but his goofy little face, his goofy little activities he does just brings immediate joy to my life when you see that.
Yeah, and I definitely am. I love a dog. Mm-hmm. Like that's your partner. Like he's real simple. Like, look, feed me treats, take me for walks,
rub the back of my head.
Yeah, rub my head and my belly. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Simple.
Yep, simple.
Simple.
All right. Okay, the next segment we're gonna do is called "What is your go-to?" So, what is your go-to cocktail beer?
Yeah, my new cocktail. I think it's my summer drink is anything peach whiskey and lemonade. That's just been my new one. Beer, I love Fat Tire. One of my favorite beers. I think as it gets warmer, it gets better. So if I'm working outside at the house, I just get a 6-pack, set it down, and even if it does get warm, it actually still tastes good. So I mean, that's how you know quality beer. You drink Miller Lite warm, that's not a good day.
Bruh. True. I'm gonna have to agree with you. That's not good stuff warm. Not a big beer drinker myself though, but if it's between beer and nothing, it's beer.
It's definitely not nothing.
Yeah, it's definitely not nothing. All right. Music, album, artist.
Yeah, music. I'm a big R&B fan. I would say album. I don't really know the album, maybe, but artist definitely Brian McKnight. I think that is hands down.
That's the dude.
He's at least a Don. I don't know if the Godfather of R&B, but he's at least a Don of R&B. If you don't know who Brian McKnight is and that's on your playlist, you need to fix that.
Look, he got slow jam tape worthy songs. That's how I judge it. Like if you in that category, that slow R&B category, and you that person, I judge it by back in the day when I used to be in high school and I used to make tapes. That's how you let a girl know you really liked them. You made them a tape.
That took an art form I don't think people realize anymore. Like you had to push play and record at the same time. Yeah. And then you would have to try to stop it in between commercials. Because if you were good. And then, of course, you would have your own name to it. Like Dimper's Love Jams, #1.
Yeah, Facts, Volume 1.
Dun, dun, dun.
You know what? Shout out to the slow jam tape. Because that took a lot of time.
It took a lot of time and effort.
Look, but I'm going to tell you, there were some serious go-tos in those categories. Like one of my go-tos, you couldn't make one of those without Luther.
Oh, definitely.
There ain't no slow jam tape without Luther Vandross. And I ain't talking about skinny Luther. I'm talking about big Luther.
Yep.
Y'all know what for all y'all out there listening, if you know what I'm talking about, then you really know what I'm talking about.
Luther indeed.
Luther. All right. Sport hobby.
Yeah, love football. Still actually play it every now and then. I play semi-pro football, even though I shouldn't. I'm getting too old for it. My hobby, I love working with my hands, which is kind of coincides with my job. Anything I can do with that, building cars. I have a hobby car that right now I'm putting together.
Ooh, what kind of car? I mean, what is it?
It's a 73 Mustang. So I'm just finishing up the wiring on that one. Then I just bought another hobby car that I'm going to end up putting or a truck. So me and my son are going to put together, and it's going to be his when he's 16. But it's older. It's a 1949 Dodge pickup truck. So it's a beautiful, it's going to be a beautiful truck. I think the idea of seeing the beauty afterwards. But yeah, so those are some things I'm working on right now. I picked up gardening, which is
yes,
is good. I picked up gardening mainly for just one reason, to make salsa and sauces, because I love to cook. So.
Bro, that's exactly what me and the wife do. We grow a garden for the sake of salsa, and every year we make the batch. And you know what? Before you leave out of here, I'll make sure you get a jar of this fire.
There it is.
Because I got it.
There it is. Sunday, watching football, eating chips.
Yep. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. Don't call me later talking about how you love how it tastes, but how it beat you up later. I won't hear them problems.
I got some Diablo sauce. I'm good.
You good?
I like spicy.
All right, good deal. Because it's not for the weak.
It's not for the weak.
All right. Next segment. The Kosh Hidden Gems. This is where you share like something or somewhere in the Kosh that you really, really like, but you don't think others might not know about or might not appreciate or have experienced.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to figure out the park name, but there's this one park I think over by where it would consider a mental institution over there, that you can drive up to the water.
Asylum
Bay, yeah.
Yeah, Asylum Bay.
So you drive up there, and then there's a boat launch to like straight in front of you. But if you just walk to the right, there's like this little path right there that leads you to this tiny little dock that's like through the trees. And you could set up a good chair there, bring a cigar, and then just go fishing. I think it's the most peaceful spot. Like nobody goes there randomly because, well, there's obviously some people there, but it's like when you're sitting there, nobody knows how you got there. First of all, it's just a random deck that looks like it's floating in the water, but you can get there through the back of the woods. You just sit there and just relax and kind of like recenter yourself.
You just gave it up. Like, see, I got a rule. I don't tell nobody where I fish. Well, except for the main fishing spot because it's so public. But
right.
the secrets, you got the low keys.
I'm not gonna tell you it was a good fishing spot because it's not, but it's definitely relaxing,
bruh. Fair enough.
It's not that. It's not a good one.
What next segment? What does the Kosh need? What's missing? What do we need here?
I don't really know at the end of the day. Like, I think what I would like to do is have a more place where we had social gatherings, not essentially just always a drink or eat German food. I know we're pretty brats and cheese curds here, but something that we can just do something social. Even if it's we can sit down and put up a sign, and then if some people want our services or something like that, they can come talk to us or something like that. Just to be more social. I think we have more eateries than in this little space than's necessary. We definitely have more bars in the space that are necessary. I think the ideal of it, we aren't as social as a community. And I think because of that, we tend to other a lot of people and a lot of different cultures in this area. We tend to like stay away from them instead of spending more time to get to know them. So I think the idea, if we can't just do something where we sit down and talk with each other, if we could do something where we at least can be around each other, like do more fairs and stuff like that, where you can bring your family out, so it brings you into the community, to possibly give you the chance to meet other people. I
think they're working on it. Because
it shut down Sawdust Days, didn't they? They shut that off.
Yeah, they shut down Sawdust Days, but they started Music in the Park. And there's been some other things. I'm a huge fan of the Saturday farmers market. Like, that's a nice little feel. There's this little
egg rolls. Oof.
No, man, I'm telling you, there's this one stand, and it's over there on the corner over there by Washington Street or Algoma, that does burritos.
Oh yeah, I never
in front of the New Moon, and let me tell you, them burritos are fire.
Burritos,
look, bro.
Shout out to the burritos.
Them burritos, and they're so good that I have started making it like my Saturday ritual to get up every Saturday. I go pick one. I pick me up one. I pick my wife up one because she's getting off work early in the morning on Saturday. And let me tell you, when she knows that burrito is waiting for her, when she get off work, I got the S on my chest. I'm super husband.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. And that burrito is that good. If y'all know who I'm talking about, I don't know the name of the Mexican stand or the Hispanic stand that is making these burritos, but fire. All right. So, next segment. Who's making a difference? Who right now out there in the world, whether local or national or regional, who do you feel is making a difference? What are they doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, like a shout out to the educators in this world. I think they right now are adapting to this current pandemic we have going on, and they're doing it with grace. I think at some point these teachers were so set and so long for doing something so long, but maybe this pandemic has become a blessing. It's created a point where teachers have to be more creative now, especially getting the education through. So again, I would love to thank the educators. I think they're doing the most out there. Like, again, my son's educator is amazing. She goes above and beyond anything she's doing, getting kids involved via the screen, because that's almost impossible nowadays. We understand how switch fast they want to get fast through things, like 30 seconds and they're done on a screen. But to keep these kids engaged, I think educators definitely need the biggest shout out right now.
I agree. I think what maybe really has happened is, like, our educators have been tasked with being everything plus educators. Right. In a lot of cases, they might be the guiding adult in a young person's life. Their support system, their place where they feel the person that takes care of them and hooks them up with resources and services. Like, I think what may have really happened in the pandemic is due to the fact that they were not in person, they got an opportunity to refocus on just education in a lot of cases. And I could be wrong about that, because I'm sure that they had a lot more going on because they were transitioning over to a new form of teaching in some cases, and some might have already been online and doing those things. But I think it presented the opportunity to get back and get focused on the education, where our schools seem to have become a catch-all for all things children, which it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I do think it's probably more than a lot have signed up for when they originally got into education.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think the idea, like, where parents take less responsibility in their kids' education, which I feel like now they're forced to at least get them to the point of logging on, having their materials present, and so on and forth. Like, it's like, I think and I've known a lot of parents that feel like as soon as they send their kids to school, that's it. They don't have to do anything else. It's pretty much like a free day or babysitting day or whatever it is. But then when they come home, they keep that same mentality. And they want to understand when their kid's falling behind, not knowing what's going on in school. It's like we as parents take school for granted at some point. Like, they're not reaffirming or reassuring all the time that your kid's getting this stuff, because they can't. They have 30 plus students, where you as a parent could actually take some effort in your kid's education and make sure he's getting it. Run him through some stuff, teach him some more stuff. Just be a parent. Like, at some point, instead of throwing a screen in front of your kid and calling that be a parent. Like, it's like, I get so irritated because, again, like Kenyon, my son, 7, he is so intelligent, and it's not the fact that he has all this tutoring or all that. He just has 2 parents that care. And I think at some point we care about his education enough that he's always doing some kind of activity to become better. So we've always had a saying with me and him. I say, you're going to be a good man or a great man. And so I'm like, a good man does what he's told, but a great man does more. And he always tells me he's going to be a great man. And so I think he embodies a lot of the stuff that I tell him, and then we move forward with that. And he's a great young little man, and super intelligent. I think he was learning his times table when he was like 4. So he knows how to read full chapter books by himself, and he's only 7. So it's like, I think we're looking at the ideal of education is just as the educators, but we are all educators. Our kids learn from us until they don't. I mean, but so what your choice is, they'll teach them is they either push a tablet in front of their face and they call it a day, or they actually engage your kids. And I think that's where the kids want it. They want to be engaged.
Shout out to the educators.
Shout out to the educators.
Okay. Now is that time for the topic of the week. This is a topic chosen by our guests. And Aaron, what's our topic of the week?
Daddy D.I.Y.
Okay. Break that down, please.
Yeah, so it got to the idea that we're eventually going to develop a YouTube channel on it. That's why we use the name Daddy D.I.Y. So it's essentially, it's going to be a YouTube channel showing fathers how to be fathers. I think where it's not just building stuff, it's learning how to re-engage with your kids again through some activities, and it's going to be building stuff. So obviously anything we do and we build on there is going to be extreme. So instead of a bird house, it's going to be a bird mansion. So we got some plans written up for that one, which is going to be pretty entertaining once we start getting into it. We're gonna build some catapults or stuff like that. I think to the point of where we can show dads essentially how to re-engage, and then we're gonna go again on the same channel. We're gonna go shadow dads and how they parent and father their kids, their sons or daughters. I think to the ideal of to give just a different light to fathers. I think we kind of get the bottom of the barrel.
Bruh. Fair enough. But that's not all it is, right? What else?
Yeah, so Daddy D.I.Y. now it will and always function as a construction company. So we do residential remodeling. The easiest way I say it is we do everything from the inside to the outside of the house, except roofs. We don't do roofs, but anything you can think of. I mean, to elaborate ponds and above ground gardens to the simple drywall fix. We also do a lot of things that are also popular. We do a lot of trash removal, which is something that is more popular than I ever thought it was going to be. So again, if you have a lot of junk or stuff you're trying to get rid of or do some cleaning, you just call us over and we'll bring a big old trailer or take it to the trash for you guys. So,
I mean, I was going to ask, what does that really entail? Because that kind of fascinates me. Because, when you live in a house for, 5, 10, 15, 20, and that stuff just accumulates. Like, you don't even think about it. And after a while, you look at it so long, you don't even realize it's there until one day you need that space.
Yep.
Or it's grown to the point that you no longer have any space.
Yeah, and that's a huge one. So, like, we do a lot, especially rental properties. We do a lot of curbside cleanups or rental property cleanups where we just go in because people leave their stuff in there. And whoever's owning the building will come hire us to clean out the stuff that needs to go to the dump. We're not housekeepers by no means. We're not sweeping and mopping and dusting. That's not what we do. We'll get your big stuff out of there. So again, you can go through and easily do that. But yeah, it's surprising how much stuff people just have. We've been like I think it's a 16-foot trailer. I filled that one time at our house 4 times.
What?
At one house,
Bruh.
Man, that's crazy. 4 times?
Yeah, and the house was not a very big house. It was more impressive. Like the garage was filled from the bottom to the ceiling, and all of it needed to go. And then the basement looked the same. So I mean, it's impressive. I didn't think it was going to be a niche, but we also do something that's quite popular is the honey-do list, which is something that. Essentially, what I'll do is I'll walk through your house with you, and then we'll make a list on essentially what is a need, what's a need to get done, what's maybe something you want to get done, and so we're moving for that, and like that is actually again it's another popular thing. where people just don't know. They look at their house, they know they want something done. We can go through some options, and then we can make a list of it, and then you can handle the list. And when they're ready to kind of move forward with that, they could call, and then we can start taking care of some of this list.
Has with the housing boom, right? Everybody, if you've been reading or keeping up or with anything, like houses have been just selling like hotcakes. Barely. Most don't even make it to the market, and then they're sold. And I'm going to assume that with that comes the need for people to do updating and remodeling and stuff of that sort. Has that affected business? Has that been a thing?
It sometimes is a thing, but in the market where it's currently so fast, they actually don't care about upgrading a lot of things because people are just trying to get in the houses. Now, what's happening is people are jumping in these houses, and now they're remodeling them. So before, where people, this is essentially like a party. You want to clean your house before a party, it's going to get dirty anyways. So it's looking at the same thing for houses now. There's no point in painting a pink room because if they want it white and brown or whatever, they're going to paint it themselves. I think the ideal of remodeling or what they should do now, especially in this market, if things don't work, fix them. If you have huge holes in your wall, patch them. The ideal of paint is not going to sell your house any faster than not painting because people are, again, they're going to paint what they want to paint. I think the big thing is now that people should focus on, if they have major problems with their house, get those fixed. Just be the good person and get those fixed before you hand your house off to somebody else because somebody else is not going to know those problems.
Guys, that's fair. What's the most interesting project you've done over the summer or most recently?
Yeah, so I've traveled to Atlanta. So I went there and I built this, what I call a backyard oasis. So it's essentially everything from a huge pavilion with TV, lights, fireplace in it, outside kitchen, and then with a pathway to a fire pit, a deck that leads up this incline hill, custom-made stone steps to a huge balcony, and then another outside kitchen on that property. So these people were really wanting that stuff done. I think it was, after it got all done and I could see it connect together, it was beautiful. So I think it was the coolest thing I've ever done. The strangest thing I've probably ever done was I built a doghouse, and she wanted heat and a plug in it, which I didn't understand because what is a dog getting plugged in? But hey, it's not my money. So I think
maybe they were putting a TV in for the dog. Dog might have needed a large screen.
Yeah, you could have. I mean, it was big enough to put a TV in. Yeah, she wanted it to look like a regular house, so like the top open, so the floors were done. There was essentially a dog bed put in there, so that was custom built as well. So I mean, it's fun. I mean, I don't mind it. People want things, and there's a lot of custom furniture. I've built a lot of custom furniture, like epoxy tables, so on and so forth. So that gets interesting. I can't say that, interesting when it comes down to it, because there's so much variety in what you're allowed to do. And so it just makes it fun. Building custom furniture has always been like a hobby. I try to do that more just in my downtime.
Okay. So if someone wants to acquire your services, how do they go about doing that? How do they connect?
Yeah, they can either call me, email me. Calling works better. It's my personal number, so it's 920-636-6576. Once again, 920-636-6576. And it's just really all it is just a simple text message at that point, or a voicemail, your name, your address, and what you're looking to get done. Because a lot of people just say, "Hey, I want work done," and then that's it. I don't know anything else like that. Just give me the bare minimums here. So, what you're looking to get done, where you're approximately located. You don't even know they have an address, say Oshkosh, Appleton, Milwaukee. And then obviously your number. I think to the point where like I have something to reference when I'm calling you back. I'm not just saying sir or ma'am until I get a number or a name. So that's pretty easy. And then I get back to you. all quotes, depending on sizes, but I try my best never to go over a week. So you're guaranteed to get them back in a week. If not, I'll inform you ahead of time. But yeah, that's the easiest way is through text or phone call.
All right. And I'd also like to encourage the Kosh listeners, if you'd like, you can always email us at askthekosh@gmail.com. Once again, that is askthekosh@gmail.com. You can email us, and we can also connect you with DADDY D.I.Y LLC. All right. Well, we're going to start getting ready to start wrapping things up. Anything else you want to share with the listeners, Aaron?
Yeah, I think again, I think a shout out to my son, Kenyon. So Daddy D.I.Y always started from that. I think where some people look at it like, oh, that's just a funny name. No, it's not. It's like my son's part owner of the company, so it became this. It's a father-son thing, and hopefully, eventually, it'll be something I can pass on to him, and he can do what he wants with it. So I think the Daddy D.I.Y itself it's more than just the name. I think so people look at it, they just laugh because it's Daddy or whatever. But I think when we move past that, it's just something I'm trying to make for my son, and I think it's just trying to develop it for a future endeavor for him if that's what he chooses to do. So
you're building legacy,
right?
All right, Kosh listeners, once again, I'd like to encourage you. I appreciate y'all out there. I always appreciate the time you take to listen to the Kosh. I encourage you, please, please, please email me with any questions, suggestions, anything that you got on your mind. Once again, that is email us at askthekosh@gmail.com. That is askthekosh@gmail.com. Since we've been off the air for a little while, I'm looking forward to hearing from you all. Let us know what you thought of this episode, and any suggestions you want to make. This show is based on you, the Kosh listeners. So we're fluid. We make change. We try to improve. It does not fall on deaf ears, and we truly care. And if you knew from the past, I do answer all of the emails personally myself. All right. Now, you know what time it is? It's my favorite time. It is shout out time. All right. Aaron, who do you got to shout out?
Yeah, I think the biggest shout out I'd like to do is to my son. Again, I love you, Kenyon. A big shout out to him. Shout out to his mom for doing the stuff and taking care of him when I'm not around. It's a partnership. So I think what co-parenting is, we got to understand that and respect that. And I would like to shout out to my friends, my boy Phil, my boy Terrell. Again, some of these guys are some people that help me out, and I think they're the best. So shout out to Terrell Flemings and then Phil Scheibel. And yeah, just shout out to Oshkosh. We'll see what we got here, community.
Yeah, and that's what we're saying here, the Kosh. I'd like to send some shout outs. I've taken on this new role in Appleton, and so my shout out is going to go to Appleton, the city of Appleton as a whole. Thank you for being welcoming. Thank you for reaching out, and thank you for willing to be able to do the work that needs to be done to make a better and more welcoming community. I can't stress that enough. The attitude is a beautiful thing. All right. Last thing, Aaron. Parting words of wisdom. What kind of wisdom you want to bless these Kosh listeners with?
Yeah, except we're talking about building and constructing. I think the words of wisdom I would pick up, like, build the type of life you're wanting to live in. I think so many people want a better life, but they choose not to do more with it. So if you want a better life, be active in it and build the better life.
I can get down with that, man. I'm feeling that. So once again, thank you for tuning in. We missed you. The Kosh.